everything's fine on 93.9 Dublin South FM.
Good afternoon, I'm Charmaine Colvin and you are listening to Apna Radio 93.9 Dublin South FM. On India this week, US President Donald Trump's additional 25% tariff imposed for India buying Russian oil and weapons took effect yesterday, sending the Indian government into firefighting mode. India, one of the US's strongest partners in the Indo-Pacific, is one of a number of countries hit with the highest tariffs in the world. This could deal a blow to exports and growth in the world's fifth largest economy, given that the US was until recently India's largest trading partner. In response to the steep 50% tariffs in total, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a promise earlier this month to cut taxes to mitigate their economic impact. He also urged domestic self-reliance. He said that a Diwali gift in the form of a massive tax bonanza was on its way for the common man and the millions of small businesses that power Asia's third largest economy. During the Independence Day celebrations, Modi also urged small shop owners and businesses to put up Made in India boards outside their shops. Modi's drive to improve manufacturing as part of India's GDP has not proved successful, despite government subsidies and production incentives. Modi is now looking to overhaul India's goods and service tax with the aim of leading to higher consumer spending. Meanwhile, the war of words between Delhi and Washington, especially over the former's energy purchases from Russia, have only intensified, and trade renegotiations, which were set to begin earlier this year, have been called off. Police in India have arrested a man who recently alleged that he had been coerced into burying hundreds of bodies of women who were raped before being murdered. His startling claims have thrown the tiny religious town of Dharmasthala in the southern state of Karnataka into turmoil. Home to the centuries-old temple to Manjunatha Swami, an incarnation of Shiva from the Hindu Holy Trinity, the town attracts thousands of pilgrims daily and is central to the fabric of local people's lives. The government has set up a special investigation team to verify the man's allegations. The man said he had worked as a cleaner at the temple from 1995 to 2014, and when taken to the magistrate, he produced a human skull, which he said belonged to a body he had buried. The cleaner did not name anyone but blamed the temple administration and its staff, allegations which the temple chief rejected as false and baseless. The allegations have resulted in a huge political row. The issue was discussed at the latest State Assembly, with opposition BJP members calling it a smear campaign against a Hindu religious site. Home Minister G. Parameshwara from the state's governing Congress party said the government had no intention of preventing the course of justice. India's Election Commission, one of the most trusted public institutions in the world's largest democracy, is facing a test of its credibility. Over the past few weeks, it has fielded a string of allegations from the opposition, ranging from voter fraud and manipulation to inconsistencies in electoral rolls, all of which have been denied. Opposition leaders who have held massive protests against the ECI in recent days said they were considering an impeachment motion to remove the chief election commissioner from his position. However, they had not filed a motion by last Thursday, the last day of the monsoon session of Parliament, and currently don't have the numbers to see it through. Outspoken politician Rahul Gandhi, leader of India's main opposition party Congress, has launched a 16-day, 1,300-kilometre march known as the Voters' Rights March in Bihar state to protest against the ECI, marking a dramatic escalation in the political fight. Bihar is set to vote in a key state election later this year and is currently in the middle of a heated controversy over a recent revision of electoral rolls. Gandhi first made the allegations of vote theft in August, accusing the ECI of colluding with the governing BJP to rig the 2024 general elections. According to a survey published this month by Locknity, a research programme at the Centre for the Study of Developing Societies, trust in the ECI has dropped sharply. In all 6 states surveyed by CSDS in 2025, the number of people who had no trust in the EC had risen sharply from 2019. In Uttar Pradesh, India's most populous state, it rose from 11% to 31% in the period. At least 30 people have been killed and many more injured after heavy rains triggered a massive landslide in Indian-administered Kashmir, according to local media reports. The landslide near the Vaishno Devi shrine on a popular Hindu pilgrimage route in the Katra area was the latest disaster caused by heavy monsoon rains in the Himalayan region that have left hundreds dead and missing in India and Pakistan. Heavy rains have led India to open the gates of large dams on the swollen rivers in its territory, warning Pakistan of potential downstream flooding, according to news agencies. Pakistan began evacuating tens of thousands of people on Tuesday after New Delhi alerted Islamabad about possible cross-border flooding. Meanwhile, amid forecasts for further rainfall, Indian authorities were working to restore telecommunications services, which were almost non-existent amid the deluge, said Omar Abdullah, Chief Minister for Indian-administered Kashmir. According to officials, more than 1,200 people have been killed in monsoon-related incidents in India since June, DPA have reported, while at least 800 have died in Pakistan since late June. Investigators in India will visit a vast private zoo owned by the billionaire Ambani family after the Supreme Court ordered an inquiry into allegations that animals were acquired unlawfully and mistreated. The inquiry will also examine possible violations of wildlife laws at Vantara, as well as allegations of financial irregularities and money laundering. The Supreme Court said there were no proof to support the allegations, but ordered an inquiry because authorities had been accused of failing to do their duties. Vantara, run by Anant Ambani, son of Asia's richest man, Mukesh Ambani, is home to hundreds of elephants, tigers and other animals. It has promised full cooperation with the inquiry. Vantara remains committed to transparency, compassion and full compliance with the law. Our mission and focus continues to be the rescue, rehabilitation and care of animals, it said, without directly commentating on the allegations. And finally, researchers at Madurai Kamaraj University in Tamil Nadu have been digitally reconstructing faces to understand what the region's early inhabitants might have looked like. They have been using human skulls excavated from Kondage, an ancient burial site about 4 kilometres from Kiladi, an archaeological site that has become a political flashpoint in India. Archaeologists there say an urban civilization dating back to 580 BC existed in Kiladi, a claim that adds a new dimension to the story of the Indian subcontinent. Researchers are now extracting DNA from human bones and other goods found in burial urns at the site to better understand who the inhabitants of Kiladi were and what their lifestyle was like. So that's all on India this week. You have been listening to Apna Radio 93.9 Dublin South FM.